The 19 kids and counting actors Jinger, Duggar, Vuolo, and husband Jeremy Vuolo announced a new children's book after their tearful daughter Felicity came home from school. You Always Belong was inspired by a conversation Jinger and her daughter Felicity had. She said on Instagram. She said, "Everyone was laughing at me. One day after kindergarten, she got in the van and fought back tears when I asked her why she was so upset." Jeremy explained that she had no idea how to handle her emotional distress and was ashamed to cry in front of her pals. They told her, "Even when people laugh at you, God isn't laughing at you, and in Him, you always belong." Jinger continued. That experience was actually the inspiration for our team's most recent effort, a children's book called You Always Belong. Jeremy said, "You Always Belong" raises the question, who am I? For children ages 4 to 8. What do you say when your little one bursts into tears after school? Was the caption that the couple posted. Will you teach them how to fight? Speak with the teacher? Or do you try your best to comfort their brittle heart into the fact that they won't be liked by everyone? As a parent, there will undoubtedly be moments of deep reflection, revelations, and unexpected inspiration. Many parents experience profound personal growth as a result of the daily challenges of raising their kids. This reality star, who had already captured the hearts of millions of people through television, never imagined that an apparently ordinary event involving her child would lead to something far bigger. This is the real story of how a modest parenting moment led to the creation of a children's book that has spread its message of faith to families worldwide. An unexpected parenting moment. It was simply another ordinary day for a busy reality star. She was exhausted, like many parents, from juggling the demands of public attention, her television job, and her home life. However, as she was by herself at home, watching her children play in the living room, something changed. "Mom, why does God always help people who pray?" was her 6-year-old son's incredibly straightforward but profound query. She paused for a while, surprised at the depth of his question. She made it a point to teach her kids the value of kindness, love, and religion despite her busy schedule. However, this wasn't your typical inquiry, and it required more than a recitation of the answer. She saw that her son was looking for something deeper than a straightforward explanation of religious rituals or how to pray. He wanted to understand the concept of faith itself. This question altered her entire perspective. She thought the purity and innocence of a child's faith to be incredibly lovely. It was a gentle reminder of the joy, innocence, and trust that come with believing in a force greater than oneself. Despite the fact that her religion had evolved over time, her child's naive curiosity about God and the cosmos had restored her faith. The concept that got it all started. In the days after this discussion, the reality star's personal spiritual and parenting journey was revealed. She had always loved telling stories to her children before bed, and it was during these stories that she received the inspiration for a book that would help children develop a real relationship with God. She would be able to impart to them the wisdom and comfort she had gained on her own spiritual journey if she gave them a strong religious foundation. At first, the idea of writing a book for young readers was daunting. Her religious knowledge and her literary abilities were not particularly impressive. She quickly realized, however, that her experience as a mother and her deep understanding of the struggles parents confront on a daily basis may provide a new perspective. She was driven to share her story in the hopes that it might encourage other families to rediscover their faith because of her past in the spotlight and her capacity to establish a personal connection with her audience. Another essential factor for her was creating a book that children from all backgrounds might appreciate. As a parent, she saw that children's books may have a profound impact on their growth. As a result, she set out to write a story that would honor her son's curiosity while also teaching him important life lessons like perseverance, hope, and faith. Book crafting. The craft of writing. The reality star approached the project with the same zeal and dedication she had shown to her previous undertakings. Despite the fact that she had never written a children's book before, she began by thinking back to her own childhood and the stories that had impacted her. Stories of courage, hope, and wonder filled her mind, and she felt driven to write a story that embodied these values. She also found strength in her faith, which she utilized to inspire herself by sharing Bible passages and anecdotes of God's craftsmanship in her life. After several months of development, the book was finally titled God is Always There, A Journey of Faith for Kids. She wrote it for her own kids, but she also wanted it to reach families around the world who might be looking for stories about trusting God and the power of prayer. Her goal was to create a children's book that would teach young readers the importance of prayer, gratitude, and kindness while also providing them with entertainment. Her writing technique was fraught with difficulties. In the midst of such fierce competition, she occasionally questioned if her viewpoint would be taken seriously. But she found the strength she required in her work and in the values she espoused. She had a lot of memories of her own encounters with God and her faith when she read this book. She sought the assistance of a talented illustrator as the book progressed, who brought the story to life with lively, captivating illustrations that would enthrall young readers. She wanted her illustrations to let her readers experience the same warmth and affection that she did when reading the book, and they succeeded. The novel's impact. The publication of the reality star song God Is Always There completely changed her life. Beyond the book itself, it was about her journey as a mother, a believer, and a brave person who dared to share her story with the world. She was unaware that the book would receive such a reaction. The story resonated with a wide range of families, and many of them talked about how the book had a significant influence on their lives and bolstered their faith. Numerous parents thanked the book, stating that it had a significant influence on their kids, encouraging them to consider the value of prayer and faith as well as to embrace the notion that God is always watching over them and guiding them. Many children found solace in the book's message, which was comforting and soothing. The reality star had the greatest of intentions, but she was unable to predict the significant influence her story would have on kids. Her book was not only a financial success, but also a source of inspiration and direction for parents who wish to support their kids' spiritual growth. Conclusion. A legacy based on faith. A child's perceptive question served as the impetus for a book that has reached families worldwide. With her faith-filled children's book, the reality star gave families a way to connect, reflect, and develop their faith, something much more significant than a straightforward tale. Her journey as a mother and creator has inspired her children and countless others to see that faith is something to be lived and shared, not just studied. The importance of religion, the importance of being there for one's children, and the transformational potential of chance inspirations are all illustrated in the book's conclusion. It reminds us that, like the humble parenting experience that sparked this book, the most important life lessons can come from the most trivial and unexpected situations.